I'm ready.
Yeah, okay.
Yep.
So you always look at me.
All right, okay.
Are we ready?
Yep, recording.
Okay. So, Camille, to
Yes.
start with, could you please tell me your name, your job title, and the organization you work for?
Okay, so my name is Camille Ruiz. I'm the program head for the Advocacy Partnership and Networking Program here in Center for Disaster Preparedness.
Thank you. Camille, would you be able to introduce the advocacy, to summarize or just outline, just name them, the advocacy initiatives in the Philippines by the implementing partners, including CDP, to the frontline program?
Okay, so one of the advocacy initiatives that we've been doing here in the Philippines is the...
Starting with, so I know that the question was probably a bit convoluted, but yeah, if you could introduce in your answer, introduce the question by repeating the question. So I'll repeat the question. Could you introduce the advocacy initiatives in the Philippines by the implementing partners of Frontline?
Okay. The advocacy initiatives implemented by some of the partners of Frontline, specifically Center for Disaster Preparedness and the Disaster Risk Reduction Network Philippines, is the amendatory bill to the current DRRM law in the Philippines, which is Republic Act 10121. So this advocacy talks about establishing an independent national DRRM agency in the country to be able to address the current gaps and challenges in the policy and practice of disaster risk reduction, and of course build towards resilience. So, okay.
Can you tell me about other advocacy initiatives by implementing partners apart from this one? Yes, for example, have other partners like Bukota or others?
I'm not familiar.
Or it's not, you're not familiar? Okay, so if you're not familiar, I can ask that.
Yeah, I'm not familiar.
Okay, that's no problem. So, in that case, can you tell me how Frontline has supported CDP and communities to do advocacy?
Okay, so one of the components of the Frontline project was to conduct a national advocacy workshop with the implementing partners here in the Philippines, and we conducted that in, I think, first quarter last year. And then through that workshop, we came up with an advocacy plan, and that is to push for the independent agency for DRRM. So that's how Frontline have supported the implementing partners. During that workshop, the implementing partners were taught on different advocacy strategies that they can do in pushing for changes and policy amendments, for instance, in their different contexts. But for this Frontline project, the group collectively decided to push for the amendatory bill so as to address most of the issues that each of the partners have been experiencing in their local contexts.
Very good. Yeah. Very good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Could you link the advocacy activities done by CDP and the successes to Frontline in terms of, for example, Frontline approach, the funding, the methods, the ideas, the evidence? Could you link the advocacy activities and successes to Frontline?
Okay. So one of the specific links of Frontline to the advocacy initiative of CDP is that we're using the Frontline results as evidence to what we're pushing for. So for instance, we have seen during the Frontline activities the everyday risks, the need to mainstream disaster risk reduction and management into development. So those particular calls are the ones that we're pushing, and that the ones that we want to be included in the amendatory bill. That the concerns, for instance, of the local people, the concerns of the community will be addressed by giving more resources to the local DRRM offices, to the local DRRM councils, so that they can address the issues, the specific issues of the community. So that's one. Another thing that that the Frontline project has helped the advocacy initiative is through the training, because now there are more community partners, more implementing partners that are now well versed on how to do advocacy. So now we're able to help these trained partners are now able to help for instance, CDP in lobbying, in negotiating activities with our champion legislators, for instance, and that they can now share their own experiences in their own communities to be able to back up what we want to push.
Very good. That's really, really good. I think the next one you already have answered it, because I was going to ask how the community's views from the case study, how the community's views and priorities identified at a front and shape the advocacy, but I think you've responded that. You gave an example of that what they wanted was more resources to the local council, etc., etc. So that's also. Yes, in the case study, there was mentioned the importance of top-down, bottom-up strategies. So could you explain a bit more about the importance of using top-down and bottom-up strategies and the link of that to Frontline?
Okay, so the beauty of the Frontline process or the Frontline approach is that it gets the voices of the people in the community, which is exactly the bias of this advocacy, to know what the views of the people in the community are, so that whatever policy that we're doing at the top, at the national level, will really address the specific issues. And it's not just a general, for instance, a general answer to a question, but really a responsive question to a specific problem. So since the Frontline process brought up very specific issues, so we were able to gather very specific policy recommendations that can be done at the national level.
Thank you. Really good. I'm not saying good. It's not an example.
Okay.
No, I'm saying very, very good, because I think a lot of what I hear it can be used. It's really, really good stuff. So there's no right or wrong answers, but. I read a lot in the case study about the DRRnet Philippines and in relation with. So, could you explain the benefits of coalition building, and perhaps you could use DRRnet Philippines? So, could you explain the benefits of coalition building and how that links with Frontline?
Okay. So in the Frontline project, the Disaster Risk Reduction Network Philippines was chosen as one of the implementing partners. Sorry?
There's a lot of noise from.
I'm sorry. So I'm just asking.
Yeah, just.
Yeah, I can hear that.
Just a moment. They're having a heated discussion. I'm just gonna go over. It's close.
Yes. Go and have your discussion somewhere else.
We are almost done.
Okay.
How is it going?